Good afternoon. Today we're doing an SEO audit of PremierPoolPlastering.com. Howdy, I'm Kiram from Clear Imaging, and I've been doing web design and SEO, search engine optimization, since all the way back in 2003. I'm doing this today because I want to give you my knowledge so you can grow your business. The goal of this audit is to 1. Find SEO mistakes on your website, and 2. Give you the solution. I just want to make it very clear, this is just a brief 10-minute SEO audit. We will not have time to cover every point because there are over 100, but we will be able to go over the major things so you can make some big changes. Let's start right in. Here we are on the home page. First thing I like to look at is amount of text. So you need to have at least 500 words of unique quality text on your website, on your homepage. When Google is comparing your site to your competitors, one of the factors it uses is amount of quality text. So if a competitor has more than you, then they can rank higher than you. For instance, if you have one page about decks, pool deck, and your competitor has 10 pages about pool decks, each with 500 words plus, they're going to probably rank higher than you. So long story short, let's get 500 words on every page, including the home page. And right now your home page has maybe 250, 300 words. So let's get some more going. This also applies to all of your inside pages, all right, your service pages. So let's just start opening some of them up one at a time. And we're going to take a look and see how much content they have on them. The thing with content is you can always have too much content, but not enough content, that is a bad place to be. The more the better. You can never have too much. So here we have spawn plaster page. We have headings here with text in between. Pretty decent. Maybe 400 words. Over here, heading, text, heading with keyword in it. More headings with keywords. Maybe 400 words, pretty nice. So if you want to dominate, if you want to really dominate in Google, you go for over 500, 1,000 and beyond. This is a pretty good standard what you're doing with your amount of wordage on all these pages. You're definitely doing, what would be typical. So these pages look good. They're nicely done, decent amount of content. They all have keywords in their headings. Excellent. So I think you get the idea. All these pages have a similar format. They're in good shape. And I'll just scroll through the rest. All right, pretty good, pretty darn good. Now, coming back over here, what are some other things? You've got your security certificate. That is a good thing to have, so good job on getting that. We have some tests over here. Google page speed. Decent score. Probably could be a little higher if we removed some images, because your website does have a lot of images and those take time to load. Your site is mobile friendly. Apparently there's a broken link to Instagram. Don't know about that. That's probably a false positive. So pretty darn good. Some other things to look at. We have a testimonials page. This is really good. You've got a lot of content here. Definitely keep adding these as you go. Don't stop. It's giving you unique content for your website, which Google will love, and it's going to help you close your prospects. So that's also important for turning your visitors into sales. So let's keep that going. I love how you have all of your social media accounts up here. This is really good. Google can then associate these accounts with your domain. So that is an important thing to do. Other things. Check out your gallery. So I like how you've got different categories here. This is really good. As you do jobs, go ahead and add photos every time you do a job, and then get some custom captions put in like this. You don't need to add a ton of photos, just 2 is enough, to be honest, one before and one after. So let's keep that going. Show Google that you're working on the site, it's staying fresh, it's not going stale, and then just keep that going. So what are some other things we can take a look at? I notice you have some pages over here that were city pages. So this is great content. It's very important for you to send signals to Google that you have something to do with these areas. So I'm glad you got these city pages. It's definitely the right thing to do. You should keep adding them. Go ahead and keep at it until you have a page for all of these, ideally. If you want to dominate and rock and roll in Google, that's what you would do. So that is a strategy you should use. And I see we don't have a blog. Let me double check. I'll go over here to your sitemap. And I'm looking for articles or a blog, and it doesn't look like we have that. So the idea is your site is in pretty darn good shape as it is, but being in pretty darn good shape doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be at the top in Google. Getting to the top in Google is all about going above and beyond and dominating. So the idea is SEO is a race, and it's you and all of your competitors trying to get to that top spot in Google. Now, one of the easiest ways, one of the most realistic ways a small business website can get to that top spot is by creating quality content, writing content, adding it to the website continuously, week in, week out. I don't mean 3 pages a year. I mean a page a week or a page every 2 weeks. It needs to be considerably more content than what your competitors are making. So if you're a 5-page website and your competitor is a 50-page website, you're going to be weighed very differently. So don't let Google label you as a 5-page website. Now I know you're not a 5-page website. You have more around 20 plus, right? But still, the way to win in the game is to be in that race and to continuously create that content regularly, week in and week out. You're staying in the game, and then you can rise to the top. So you can't get to the top by just adding a couple pages a year. It needs to be a regular thing. So that is a strategy. Now, of course, if you can't be bothered, Clear Imaging can help you and create that content for you. Absolutely. But if you want to do it yourself and do it for free, by doing it yourself, there's a strategy you can use. I'm going to tell you about right now. Every time you do a pool or a spa or any one of these jobs that's more than a day, like a couple days, anytime you're doing work that's a few days plus, like not just you're there just to repair something and leave, this work that you're doing can be documented by you and be used as content for your website for that project itself, a page about that project. You do a description of the job at the beginning. You do what you need in terms of materials, skills, labor, and then you do a little day-by-day, play-by-play what you need. A day-by-day what you're doing on the job site, and just document it. You're just journaling what you're doing every day on the job site, and you're just typing it up in your computer, and lo and behold, when the project is done, you're going to have 500 words, and you didn't even have to think. You're just typing up, this is what we did today, this, and this, and then a testimonial at the end, and bam, you're adding a brand new page to your website. You can create a page here called projects, add that in, and you're creating free content. Didn't cost you any money. It did take you some time, but you have to commit to it. So that requires your commitment, week in and week out. If you can't do that, of course, you should hire someone like us to make it for you. But if you want to do it on a budget, that's what I would recommend. So, other points to look at in 2020. Really important in 2020 is getting those Google reviews. You need a lot more than 8 if you want to dominate in Google. Getting to the top, you will get further up to the top if you have more reviews, because people will click on you. And when Google notices people clicking on you more than others, they're going to boost you up in Google Maps. And it's just human nature. People will click on the result that has the best and the most reviews. So now that you know that, you should really double down in 2020 and start getting more reviews from your past customers. Reach out to them, call them, email them, text them. Sometimes it takes up to 4 to 5 reminders to get that one review, even though they say each time, oh yeah, I'll do it today. So it takes a lot of follow-up. If you can't be bothered, of course, we can help you as well. Over here with Reputation Management, you give us a list, a spreadsheet with your contacts, and we set up reminders to them, emails and text messages, and get those reviews for you from your past customers. This is really key for your business in 2020. Reviews are everything these days. People will, this is what decides a lot of choices when the prospect is weighing who they want to go with. Well, who has the best reviews? So now that you know that, you should get into it and take advantage of it. Content creation and review generation in 2020. For a small service-based business, that is your best bet. All right. So coming back to your site, you're doing really good. You've got a good amount of pages. You've got all these great service pages. You've got some service areas. So if you now want to hit it out of the park and dominate, you've got to get that blog going or that article section where you're either having Clear Imaging write articles for you or you're going to create pages about projects that you're doing, because you're not going to add any more service pages. That's done. So any further content on your website, it needs to go in the blog area. That would be the purpose of the blog. So blogging is very much alive for small business. It just needs to be done consistently. So I hope that was helpful for you. Of course, this is us, Clear Imaging. As I said, it's just a brief 10-minute SEO audit. There's no way to cover every point, but we did go over enough things to give you some ideas to make some big changes to get your site moving up in the search results. And if you've been watching this and you've been thinking, I don't have time for this, I want these guys to do it for me, then we can certainly help you with that. We've been helping small business owners get their websites moving up in Google since 2004, and we only employ 100% ethical SEO techniques. And we do offer advanced SEO services that can dramatically increase your rank in Google. So please speak to your account manager about that. If you have any questions about this SEO audit we just did, I would love to answer them. I'd love to give you more knowledge. So don't be shy. Just let me know. All right.